Hey Eurovision fans, it's Tom coming to you from Dublin. I'm back for another Eurovision reaction video. Today I'm reacting to Melodi Grand Prix semi-final number 2. That's Norway's national final. I'm going to listen and react to all 7 songs and say which one I think could qualify. So, let's kiki. As always, you can use the progress bar if you want to skip to one of the 7 reactions. I really enjoyed the first semi-final Melodi Grand Prix, so I'm really looking forward to this. I think the big shots in this semi are probably Elsie Bay. I've seen a couple of stirrings on Twitter as well for Ella, because I think she's got a bit of a bop. Eurofans do tend to like their bops. Okay, so let's get into it. The first song I'm going to pick is by Swing It. I picked this one first because I have a feeling from the name that maybe I might not like it. It's Swing It and Sam Norris, and the song's called Prohibition, which, if in case you don't know, Prohibition was a period of time in the States when you couldn't drink alcohol. I'm not sure if it's a general term for not drinking alcohol, but anyway, it's like... There's also 7 of them for some reason, which is very odd. And one of them looks particularly sad, so maybe he knows that he's going to get the chop if they get a Eurovision. He looks very sad. He looks incredibly pissed off. This guy's second from the left. Swing It Prohibition, one on number secret bang.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I'm glad I picked this first.
Let me present to you the incredible...
Oh god. Yeah, it's giving me that kind of, it's a swing song. It was in the title, like, it's not like they're hiding it. I don't know, these songs always seem a tiny bit hopeless. I suppose some people are gonna enjoy them, but like, I think the era when this song could have qualified is kind of past, especially with MGP, which is so quality nowadays. I do like it as kind of a modern take on swing. Like that back production beat is decent. God, cut to me putting this in my top 10 for the whole year. Don't rap. Yeah, look, this has got some good stuff. This is the thing, this is how good MGP is. Even the songs I not massively gravitate towards are still decent. It's a very strange metaphor, saying it's prohibition to dance to the night. You know what, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is my favourite swing song of the national final season so far. Is it my favourite swing song ever? No. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Miss Kiss Bang Bang. Was that a swing song? I don't know, but I love that song from Germany in 2000 and I'm putting myself on the spot. Was that 2012? I think so. That was the year that no one got any points because Lorraine took them all. Okay, as not bad as this was, I'm ready for it to be over. I think there are people going to like this though. It's definitely got something to it. I think it's just not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something a little bit more with a fresher sound, I suppose, or... Yeah, it does sound a little bit musical theatre as well. It's actually quality. I was probably a little bit harsh on it at the start. It's actually fine. But, I don't know, would they qualify? I don't know. I feel really bad now if this wins MGP and I just completely dismissed it. Yeah, look, that was grand. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go to Alejandro Fuentes, and he's got a song called Fuego. One on number secret bang. I don't recognize his name. Has he been in before? I think he has. Like in 3rd in Norwegian Idol 3rd season. This sounds reminds me of the guy from Melodi Festival, I can't remember his name. That guy who always has a Spanish title song. Okay, so coming in with a Latin song, it's something different. It's building nicely. It's building in a very, yeah. Okay, let's see how he goes into the chorus. I'm scared to say whether this sounds Central American or Spanish because I got attacked in the comments last time when I ventured into that region. Okay, that chorus lacked a little bit of punch for me. He's not going for like a full dance bop, it's a tiny bit more mellow than that. Yeah, that horn, okay, that sounds like a Mexican horn to me in the background, but I'm probably wrong. It's probably regional Spanish. But I don't know if it ages the song a tiny bit. I just think he probably should have chosen a different Spanish word other than fuego. Just because the connotations of fuego and Eleni Fuego. She doesn't own the word. She didn't invent the Spanish language, but come on. Fuego is a very popular song and very well known. Still does very well in the ES250. So I think maybe choosing a different name would have helped a little bit differentiate. I'm not hearing anything bad. I'm not hearing anything particularly wow either. I think it's fine. It's not really giving me qualification vibes. But I do think he's quite popular. Does he always sing in Spanish? Okay, so yeah, last time he was in Melodi Grand Prix, his song was in Spanish as well. Was it Alvaro Estrella? That's who's reminding me of. I wonder these guys who are born in Sweden and Norway respectively, but had Latin parents. Is there feel like an obligation to sing in Spanish, or is it just kind of like a trope? I don't know. It seems like. Anyway, it looks like that wasn't really inspiring. Let's go to something I think is going to be a little bit stronger. I thought that was pleasant background music. Now, background music tends to have a reputation for being a negative criticism. Not necessarily. Sometimes I do like to listen to music and not have it be the focal point. But yeah, that didn't really feel like the focal point of attention for me while I was listening to it. But it was very pleasant as a supporting act to other things happening in my life during that period. I need to stop doing reaction videos in the morning. Okay, next up is Ella A. She's saying Waste. Ella A, Wanna Know My Secret Bang. Okay. That's a promising starting. Ooh. Ooh. I like that electronic riff that they've started with. I've got a toe tap already. Okay, she's tantalizing me with the beginning. That sounded like a siren. I presume on stages to be belly dancing and stuff, maybe. It feels like it has the influences of some slightly Turkish sounds which are being kind of electrified. I think I like the verses more than the chorus. I didn't chorus really slap me as much as I wanted. This verse is lovely though. I feel she's built herself up. She sets up nicely for visuals here. And from that picture as well, it does look like she's gonna go for that kind of belly dancing. And then this instrumental bit, I imagine where she's gonna be doing some stuff with her waist, which we have to watch. It also reminds me a little bit of Havana Gata. Get that from Festival Kungas in 2020. What language is that? Yeah, I like it. It's got some originality in it and some fresh sounding stuff. I think the chorus is the bit where it's a little bit too weak for me. Oh, this mix up is nice. I think this is the type of thing that could come alive in the live show. I think it's just going to come alive enough for it to qualify. I don't think it's a contender. Yeah, there were elements in that which were cool. I just think the melody in the chorus was just not strong enough. I like the verses. I liked some of the original sounds in it. I have a feeling the visuals for it are going to be very, very strong with a big emphasis on what she's doing in those kind of long instrumentals in the chorus. But yeah, I feel like I want a song that can hold up without the visuals as well. And I feel like that performance in the end is gonna be quite visually focused. Okay, so next we're going to Bjørn Olav Edvardsen. His song is called Turn Off My Heart. Now this is written by Christian Ingebrigtsen, who is the person who was in A1 and wrote Attention for Ulrika in 2020. And then he also entered MGP himself as one of the automatic qualifiers to the final, but his song was quite meh. It was like Wonders of My Heart or something, or You're a Wonder of the World. Anyway, he's back as a songwriter now. The song is Turn Off My Heart, Wanna Know My Secret Bang.
It's funny how much I care about stuff. The tiniest
Ooh, that is not a good lyric to open with. It's funny how much I care about stuff.
fills up my head,
It sounds like a lyric written by a teenager. I like the picture from the album cover though. Very pretty. Actually, a little bit reminded me of the guy from the first semi who was also in the water. Okay, getting a ballad. I suppose it makes sense from what we've heard so far because there's a bit of a mix-up with the rest of the songs. It does make sense that they would sprinkle out the genres between each one. You have one ballad in this one in this, and one in that. The chorus is fine. It does remind me of kind of Eurovision of yesteryear. I think this would have been top 10 in Eurovision '93. I don't think songs like this really have traction nowadays. Okay, give me something a little bit extra now. I think it's a cute idea of like being able to flick a switch and you can switch off your emotions. I like that idea as a concept, despite the bad opening lyric. Yes, those chords there really do remind me of Eurovision 93. They're still nice. And the big note, yeah, 93's calling. I do feel like this is Christian Ingebrigtsen's default type of song. Has he ever written something that isn't a ballad recently? The last few songs I'm aware of have all been ballads. I don't know, like I think this is weaker than Ekko Edvardsen, which was our main ballad from the first semi-final, which I really, really loved. That's my main download from the first semi-final. So this feels weaker. You feel like a bit of an injustice if this went through and Ekko Edvardsen didn't. Yeah, look, that, again, fine. I think all the songs I've listened to today have been fine. There's nothing bad. Actually, do you know what? I think the one that had the most impact on me was Swing It, which I know is going to come back and haunt me because I said some terrible things about it at the start. Just a bit too much. I'm assuming now I haven't gotten to the big hitters yet, but I think that one was the most dated. It's obviously going to stand it because it's a ballad and it was lovely, and if a certain audience shows up, could have a following, but I'd be a little bit surprised. It felt a little bit too underwhelming, a little bit too 30 years ago. Let's go to someone who I know well. I just can't resist anymore. I'm going to go to Elsie. In case you don't know, Elsie is a young Norwegian singer-songwriter who has been in Melodi Grand Prix. So last year she came third or joint third. They don't tell you who third and fourth is, so she was joint third, fourth. She also wrote Witch Woods, I believe. Oh, she wrote Hammer of Thor as well. So she sang Death of Us obviously last year, and I didn't realize she actually wrote Hammer of Thor. So she's a real top quality talent in Norway, and she's definitely going to represent them at some point. And we've got a lyric video, which is nice. Get a couple of images. Okay, really hoping for. I would love Elsie to be competitive this year. I know that Ulrike is the big favourite in the first semi, but oh, Elsie's brilliant. Want to know my secret bang? NRK are so lucky to have such a young talent. She's a great performer as well. She really is got everything. Okay, a little bit less intense feeling than Death of Us. It's got a little bit softer, more melancholy feel. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I like her lyrics as well. They always feel quite thought out. Again, this lyric for Melodi just gives us a slight feeling what she's going for. This real softness, slight vulnerability, very pensive. Okay, of course. Oh, okay, there's a little bit more like Death of Us. Okay. Okay, I don't think it's as strong as Death of Us, but I do think it's very lovely. I love that kind of like slightly haunted humming. I love these type of like very simple videos where they've just picked like 3 photos and they're just panning through them slowly. It just is so much better than just watching a picture. Gives you a slight indication of what they're thinking and feeling in the song and the mood. Ooh, it's a string instrument. Can I guess which string instrument it is? Is that a viola? It's not a violin, it's too high pitched for a violin. Is it a violin? I'm just gonna say viola. I'm gonna go for an out there guess. Yeah, I don't know if it has the same impact that Death of Us had. Death of Us had that very noticeable hook in the chorus. This has a lovely intensity to it though. Oh, okay, I love how this is building. Really, really beautiful. She's got great composition skills. Lovely. Oh, gorgeous ending. I do feel like she left it a little bit. She was kind of like building up for that really, really climactic ending, and the climactic ending was gorgeous. But I wonder, did she just leave it a tiny bit too late? I don't know if there was enough kind of hooks earlier on to kind of keep the average or less invested fan sitting there waiting. Like, obviously I'm going to sit through it because I love Elsie, but if you don't love Elsie, would you have had the patience to sit through that start bit, which is very dreamy and ethereal and very, very pretty? But if you aren't into that, or you don't understand where she's going, then I'm rooting for her. Absolutely love Elsie. I think she's brilliant. I can't wait for her to eventually represent Norway. I don't know if this is going to be the year. It just doesn't seem as strong as last year, and I feel like I can't see a scenario where that would beat Ulrika, because it doesn't feel like the song is much stronger, and Ulrika's story is stronger in that she was robbed in 2020. Still love Elsie. I think she's amazing. I want her to marry an Irish man and we can steal her. Or just give her loads of money. Just get her to buy us something. Why don't we just offer her all our money and internally select her? Okay, next up we got Sandra Lyng. She's saying Drøm, bort. Oh, another lyric video, but this one's a little bit more simple. Okay, Sandra Lyng, Drøm, bort. Wanna know my secret bang? She looks a little bit like Reese Witherspoon, doesn't she? Love Norwegian. I understand a little bit because I lived in Sweden for 4 months, which I know is a different country. But their languages are very similar. Except I understand any of these words. I do, it's just going very quickly, that's why. I totally understand what she's saying. Okay. It reminded me a little bit of Fly from last year, from Maria. She's really gone in with those Norse callings. Oh, it is a Norse song. I knew it was going to be some Norse pop. I love my little fix of Norse pop every year. Hammer, Thor, Fly, I felt was very Norse pop as well. When I say Norse, I mean like that kind of like old feeling of like Vikings. I feel like the guy in 2020 did that as well. What was his name? Oh god, I cannot remember people's names anymore. So frustrating. Alexander Wine or something? One Last Time was the name of the song. I was always impressed that they got Alexander back because he got screwed over by the app crash in 2020 and they still got him back to compete the next year. I feel like that beckoning call is a bit too long. I do like he's brought in some electronic elements though for the second chorus. It does have that kind of like very natural feel. Yeah, it feels like a very lovely Norse package. It's evocative of kind of nature and a little bit of like history, mythology. I love that bort word. Ingen can stop me. Nothing can stop me. This is too long. That intro just means being like one bar shorter. Yeah, the electronic elements that come in the chorus now really remind me of Enya, kind of like late 90s Enya. Big note at the end. I wanted a little bit more ad-lib. I would love to have done like a few of those big notes in the last 30 seconds. So kind of a missed opportunity there at the end. But yeah, that was lovely. Again, great variety in this semi because what have we had so far? We've had like a Latin song and we've had a very classic ballad and we've had a kind of like Ella with her like kind of slightly modern, sexy song. Elsie with her dreamy, ethereal, dark ballad. Sandra with her Norse pop and Swing It with whatever the hell that was, which I kind of enjoyed. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, with swing music. So like literally we've had 6 different genres. I have to admit, I think there's much less of an obvious standout in the semi. I'm assuming that the semi-finals were seeded, and my guess is that it was Maria, or is it Maria or Maren, the girl who's singing Freya, plus Ulrika, plus Elsie Bay. That's how they seeded. 3 very strong solo female artists. So as a top seed in that semi-final, I don't know. Elsie seems a little bit less obviously the best or most popular than compared to Ulrika. We've still got one left, that's Jone featuring Silke. It says it's featuring Selka, but here it doesn't. Anyway, whatever. This is Jone, One on My Secret Bang. Oh. Ooh, this sounds different again. What a great 7 very different songs in one semi. Lovely. This sounds a little bit more younger, poppier. A bit more candy pop. I like the intro though so far. I wonder if we're going to get some yodeling as well. Okay, let's go. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, it's confusing. My brain exploded, but still. Yeah, it's dirty and kind of... Wow, it's pretty intense. I'm enjoying it. It's quite trashy, but it still looks good, I think. I'm trying to process it. Is he rapping now? That really was like a bit of a clusterfuck of a chorus. But I'm not saying it was bad. I like this bit. That's really lovely. I'm feeling like this might qualify from this semi. It's very unusual. Okay, let's try and process the chorus this time. What is happening? So she's yodeling or yodeling or something. And then we've got that heavy beat in the background. I need to look at the meaning of the song. I don't know if I could download this song, but I'm quite like I'm not obsessed with it, but I'm a little bit obsessed with it. I love its existence. Echo inside me. Okay, Echo in a May. I should have guessed I meant Echo in me. Okay, crescendo. It's a real dirty pleasure. It wasn't what I was expecting from him because he's got a very like boy band pop image. This must be Silke. Very unusual. I don't know, I really enjoyed that, but I'm not sure why. Yeah, just wild. Yeah, that was something. 7 very different genres there. I really liked. I really like. I had no idea what I was going to get with it. I had a like slight inclination because, for example, the cover of Bjørn, Olav, I could tell it was going to be bad. Like I knew that wasn't going to be a dance pop. But Jone there, I had no idea what was going to happen. Really great. I have to admit, like I think the average quality throughout this semi is good. It's above average. I don't think there's like a real standout one. There's none that I'm like, wow, this is definitely my number one. I actually think it's going to be quite difficult for me to pick who my 1, 2, 3. Like even my 1 and my 7, I don't think are going to be very far away from each other. So it's a weird semi-final because I'm going to say now this is going to be very unpredictable. I think this could be one that we get a surprise from. It's a shame that on Eurovision scoreboard we're not able to split up the semis. Dude, who's my... I honestly don't know who my number 1 is. I can't remember the last time I was like reacting and it was really hard for me to choose who my number 1 is. Let's work backwards. What was my least favorite one? God, I can't even pick my least favorite one. Do you know what? It wasn't Prohibition. Would it be Turn Off My Heart? Either Turn Off My Heart or Fuego. I'm just going to say Fuego because I just felt it was a little bit too throwaway in just general. I'm going to put Turn Off My Heart 6. God, I can't pick from the rest of them. I'm going to say Waste in 5th. Reese Witherspoon's in 4th. Jesus. Okay, do you know what? I'm putting Prohibition 3rd. This is wild. I think I'm putting Elsie 2nd. I don't know. That is literally the most difficult ranking I've ever had in terms of ranking songs. That was so difficult. Because a mix of just good, decent quality across the board, but very different genres as well. Plus, nothing that really stood out as being good or nothing that really stood out as being awful either. Just like lots of 7s and 8s out of 10s. I think this is going to change massively when I see the live show. I'm going to be fascinated to watch the semi-final because I think it's wide open. I think Elsie is going to go through. I think that's pretty obvious. But the other 2, I think it's going to come down to who does the best performance, who sings the best, who's got an interesting concept, who's got a little bit of a fan following as well. But I definitely think it's really, really open, and I'm really excited to watch this on Saturday. Okay, that's what I thought about Melodi Grand Prix semi-final number 2. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thanks so much for watching. I'm seeing another reaction video very soon. Goodbye.